much of this solidarity sentiment is rooted in real world dynamics versus online performance, Pascal?
That's a very good question, and I noticed that how you framed that. I think we have to realize that what has happened is that certain frictions that existed in immigrant communities with African Americans were metastasized or grew in online spaces with the birth of these racial nativist movements like ADOS and FBA that took those tensions and exploded them disproportionately in a way where the racial discourse online about immigrant communities began to overshadow the initial problems that caused the discourse in the first place. In other words, let's not act that there was not tension between Black and Latino communities in Mexico and California before the internet and social media. Clearly, those tensions go back a while back. We realize that. We know those things happen. And let's not act like there was not tension between the Black community and the Cuban community in Miami going back before social media and before Twitter. Those things did exist. But what ends up happening is that these realities end up exploding in a conflagration of rhetoric and discourse when personalities capitalize them to make it seem like that's the only history these communities have with each other, and they create these nativist movements that really are just blackface of MAGA on the internet.
Damn.
Because if you look at places like New York, this tortured community relationship between communities of Latinos and Blacks doesn't have the same history as it does in Miami and it does in California. So we shouldn't relegate the relationship between Blacks and Latinos to making it homogenous. It's really something that depends on the space and time you're in and the location you're in.
Yes.
And at the same time, we should also realize that the online discourse is making the already fractured solidaristic attempts more difficult, not better.
I was thinking about that too, Pascal, about how it did feel like, I was like, these people must not live. I don't know if you felt the same way, Toussaint, when you were sending me these fucking videos. But I felt like these people live, maybe somewhere in the Midwest, maybe the South, where you don't have, large integrated Latin populations. If you look at images of the protest, I literally Googled images of the protest for that image on the thumbnail, and the first one that came up is this Black kid wearing a Mexican flag with a bullhorn. Especially where I grew up in the Bay Area, our neighborhoods are extremely integrated. It's not very segregated.
Right.
We don't have Spanish Oakland.
Oh, ouch.
So this idea that you're just going to take people away, I think because it's so foreign to them, that they really do think the only Latino people that these Black people interact with are walking by a Home Depot and not their neighbor. They're not store owners. They're not classmates. Right. They don't go to the same church. They don't work at the same place. So it's kind of, it's almost fascinating to see this, like, where were you for us? There was, like, that's what most of the videos were saying. Where were you for us? And I was thinking to myself, well, when the fuck did you have your Blacks only fucking protests, like BLM? Because there was a hell of brown people out during the George Floyd.
A lot of different kinds of people out for BLM.
Yeah.
That was a major feature of those protests. Also the George Floyd protests.
Yeah.
Major feature of it. How many different kinds of people were in support of the cause?
Did you find it? What resonated with you for you to say, Jason, we should do a show on this? Because it wasn't clicks.
It wasn't. Well, no. This could be about clicks. caught fire
Mhm.
online.
Mhm.
I have been following feminists online, anti-red pill people,
Okay.
anti-manosphere people,
Okay.
and some of them are Black, and some of them are women. And what started coming out is more of their politics. So one of them, and I messaged the group chat about it. One of them did a video about the non-committed movement, taking it all the way back to that, and saying that this Palestinian cause costed us the election. And it went so far as people in the comments saying things like, well, we know in the squad it was never about Rashida because it's actually Black women who make things happen.
Oh my God!
God.
Wow.
So two things are happening there. So first thing, it's like, well, what do you expect Rashida to do? What do you expect Palestinian Americans to do? What would you have them do? I think they would have them just vote for Kamala and shut up and be like happy about it. But secondly, it is also apparent to me that a lot of Black women consider themselves basically synonymous with the Democratic Party. They take that Black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party very seriously. They take the Black women saved America again thing very seriously. So a lot of the Black women that I would follow for other reasons, once their politics came out, it was like, oh my God, you are a liberal. You are a flaming liberal. Like, I know leftists are in the minority, like the minority, but damn, can I have one? It's just Vanessa Wills. She's the Black leftist lady. Like, I be wanting to message her, like, girl, come look at this. Because
Do you feel that this embrace of Black girl magic is kept them blind to the fact that it's kind of Black girl super mammy?
no, they think that they're throwing off the shackles of mamminess, particularly with this "we're resting now" thing. They think they're no longer being mammies, no longer being wet nurses or anything like that. We're not working for you anymore. We are reclaiming our time, and we're doing self-care. And healing and self-care is resistance.
Oh,
You didn't know that, did you?
So Jemima got her hair straightened, is what you're telling me.
Got her nails done is what happened.